Hello accounts people, time to have a look at bank reconciliations, time to update my videos to match the current AAT boxes that you fill in and anything else that matters. Also, same problems have been around for a few years, which is where opening balances are different. We'll see that in week 2. And we'll also see going from positive to negatives as well. And we're also seeing a bit of reality, which is an item that goes from more than one reconciliation statement because we're doing it on a weekly basis. So something that takes a month or so will appear on several of them. So this applies mainly to AAT, it's AAT style, but also very similar to A-level or T-level accounts, or in fact pretty much any other reconciliations through OCR, and also what you would do on a computer to some extent, because they always start off with matching, which is what we're going to do. So I've deliberately left one item to update, that will go in a journal, and you can see the journal here. So our balance at the moment is 966, really should be 890. We'll prove it though, we'll see it in a minute. Alright, let's match that one first. So the opening balance, much easier when they are the same, except they never should be in the real world, very unlikely to be in the real world. That 42, now it doesn't matter whether we go cash book to bank, top to bottom, left to right, it's not there. The 80 is there. Of course, AAT, you click little arrows when you're matching. The 56 is there. The 500 is there, slightly out of order because of course cash shows up on your bank statement immediately, or bank account immediately as you pay in, whereas checks take a day or two. So there's 2 items there, that's going to be in the reconciliation statement. And then that 56 is there, the 76 isn't, and the 99 is there. So there's going to be 2 items then to appear in that, and then there's this mystery 76. Well, actually, as I've already shown, this is our adjustment. So this is update the cash book. Maybe we forgot to put it in, or I forgot to completely put it in. I've left a space for it. So V if we did put it in, that will now change our balance to the 890. Anyway, so I'm doing too much number work, which is what we're explaining in this little journal. So it was 966 when we update it, with the 76 going out, it becomes 890. So we're now quite happy, and we can reconcile. So balance per bank statement is the 925 here. Some people prefer to start off with their cash book total, doesn't matter, although what you add you then subtract. Just do it the other way around. It still validates, it helps you spot fraud, helps you spot items like the VIN that were missing, we forgot to put it in. So we're just adding this, so we're effectively saying what would that 925 become when these are processed. So we'll put in the 42, and we'll put in the 68. Most AAT exams only have 1, so no need for a subtotal. Just looks nice though, might as well show the full version, more realistic version as well. And then we know about that 76, so it's the 67 that we're interested in. And the cash, which must have been last thing at night for it not to show. Depends, I suppose, if it was like a service station or something, cash machine rather than a bank one. So let's make sure it adds up right. We're going to take the opening balance, we're going to add what it says to add, and then we're going to subtract. to the 890, so we're quite happy with that. We've got everything in. We know about everything, so we know these items are delayed, and we've updated it for our missing query item. So week 2, okay, so now we've got something that visually instantly looks very different, because the 925, the opening balance doesn't balance, the 78 isn't there, in fact the 68 and the 42 aren't there either. Well, we know why, because we've done week 1's reconciliation. They are in the cash book already, but we can match the 50 and we can match the 560, and then those two items will be in the reconciliation statement. And of course, problems if you have the same amount appearing lots of times. I'd number them, reference them. If you sell the same thing to lots of different people at the same price, you're going to see a lot of entries for the same amount of money, so you have to be very careful who you are reconciling and who you're not, especially on a computer package, because once it's been reconciled it's hard to remove. So these 3 items are part of the difference, except there's another item. So what would have helped is, well, yeah, why wouldn't the bookkeeper have the reconciliation from the previous week? Well, I've never understood that one, why it doesn't appear in exams. But it does help us. We know what we can do with this. We can take, for instance, the 42, give it a different colour. We're happy with it because it's there, so we don't need to worry about updating the cash book. It's these items that students lose marks sometimes updating, and they were in the cash book. We know where they were in the cash book. They're in week 1. There they are, 42, 68. The 78 it's already been done. We don't need to put it in the cash book. But we've still got outstanding Rears check. Well, it's a check. Maybe they're on holiday. We're only doing it weekly. Yeah, it could be a couple of weeks before it appears. I've seen checks annoyingly cashed after 6 months. Because somebody didn't want to put it into a particular financial year, which is not very good. Nonetheless, I was ethical and cancelled it, and then had to give them a new one. Right, so now we can reconcile. There's no updating to do on this one. However, we've still got to work out what to do with that one. Well, yes, we'll see. Right, so the 767, it's the same process. Add. The 140. Add the 450. Take off 1600, and again take off the 67, because it's still not there. Same process. So I have mentioned, invoices I used to have to deal with a lot. They were from a brewery. We'd put the invoice on our account straight away, and the direct debit was 6 weeks later for them to take the money out. Don't know why. It's their paperwork, it's their time, it's their costs really. If they took that long to do, we had the money. The beer would have been sold within a week and banked within a week or so. It was just annoying. So if you were in that situation, you'd see it again and again, and you'd get to know the pattern for the business that you were doing the accounts for. Now we've seen the items where we didn't need to update the cash book, so all we need to do is prove we've done everything correctly. Yes, 310 minus 310. Which is right, because in case you haven't noticed, the balance brought down is now on the credit side. When that £1,600 cheque goes through, this company is going to need an overdraft facility. Otherwise it will bounce. So we've shown the no need to update and what it meant, slightly different way of showing it, and then we've thought about items that appear in more than one reconciliation statement, and we've also gone from positive to negative. So that's a wrap.